I've gone live on YouTube. Give it 10 minutes and I might go live on YouTube. Don't know why it fucked with me like that. But hey, Luke, I am on the old Facebookies. We'll see how long it takes to go live on YouTubies. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's a mystery. One of life's mysteries. I really don't know why I sometimes sing things. I'm looking. I have a little bit of orange juice that I want to use up. Hey, Invisible Chicken, I am apparently on YouTube now, which is nice. Don't know why StreamYard messed me about. I'm blaming StreamYard. I'm sure I clicked for it to go on both. But anyway, we're here now. Yes, Luke, I'm making a life musical. So I have a little bit of orange juice that I could just drink orange juice, of course, but that's too simple. And I almost never use orange juice in cocktails because I don't really like orange juice in cocktails. But so I'm just thinking of making one. So I'm looking for one. Ooh, okay. This one might be interesting. The Abbey. What's in the Abbey? Gin, Lille Blanc. And I've got an alternative for that. Orange juice. And bitters. Yeah, I could make that. That's a potential. Monkey gland. I'm sure I've looked at monkey gland. That is such a bad name for a drink. Saying this is... I was saying in Prohibition, orange juice was often used to mask the unpleasant nature of Prohibition dodgy booze. Oh, okay. We're getting to my territory. A monkey gland has gin, orange juice, grenadine, and a dash of absinthe. See, it's getting down to my sort of area of drinking. Hey, Kirsten and Luke, now you're on YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. I'm working my way through potential orange juice cocktails. The Hurricane, of course, a tiki-style cocktail. I think it's a while since I've made a Hurricane. I don't often make tiki cocktails. Well, they're saying 2 sorts of rum. Jesus, that's a big one. 4 ounces of rum all up. Passion fruit juice, orange juice, half lime, simple syrup, grenadine. It's not a bad mix. See, this is another one that could be good. Milk clarified. Make it with a couple sorts of rum, some passion fruit, some orange juice, some lime juice, some grenadine. Yeah, actually, that's another potential milk punch one. I do have to try, and I will a little bit later, the milk clarified drink I made last. I basically made a milk clarified. Brain go workies. Bloody Norland's cocktails, basically an old fashioned with absinthe, the Sazerac. It's like if I keep saying words, I start doing word association in my head, and I hopefully eventually get to where I want to be. So yes, I have a milk clarified Sazerac, which is quite dark brown. Most of the milk clarified drinks have been somewhere on a spectrum from yellow to orange. But this one's actually quite dark orange or brown. But it's clear, beautifully clarified drink. Lee, well gifted Aspie, hello, hello. Invisible Chicken, you were going to put 4 extreme sour warheads at the same time, but you were thwarted. Nobody put lemonade in the fridge when the cans ran out. Bummer. I think I've made sour warhead vodka and sour warhead tequila in the past. And I mean, honestly, once where you dissolve them in booze, it just tastes sugary. It's like you've I don't think the sour really comes out much at all. I think what you notice most of all is the extra sugar you've put in the booze. But it's always worth trying. It's always worth playing with. I've done a whole range of different lollies. Like, I really like this lolly. What would it be like if I tried to infuse this into some booze? I've done everything from Jersey caramels to musk sticks to what is it? There were those caramel bananas that Coles had for a while. I thought they were really yummy, and so I made some caramel banana vodka, which was pretty good. As in, it was sugary. Oh, and there's Japanese milk candy that I really like, and so I infused some of them in. I think it was vodka, and so add this milky confectionery flavor vodka, which I actually quite liked. I haven't done any infusions with lollies for a while. Actually, I haven't done many infusions for a while. Particularly the last month or so, I've been obsessed with milk clarifications. Kirsten, you like musk stick vodka. Yes, musk sticks were one of the lollies that make the drink go really cloudy. At least that was my experience. So had to filter it through a coffee filter, which was a very slow process because there was a lot of sediment. But that made the drink much clearer, filtering it through a coffee filter. The Jersey caramels put a lot of sediment in the drink. There's another one that was very slow to filter, but it was much clearer when it had gone through a coffee filter. Whereas rock candy tends to, because it's just sugar and it's hard sugar, it tends to dissolve really well in booze. So it really lends itself to being infused into booze. The color and flavor go in much better. Still doesn't hurt to run that through a filter to get rid of any sort of sediment. Luke, you're saying cordial with a question mark. Are you suggesting putting cordial in booze? There's lots of, I mean, it's, you could argue it's an unsophisticated way to flavor a drink, but you can make lots of good cocktails with cordial. Kirsten at the bar, you worked out you used the Chuck's cloth for filtering. Yeah, that would work. That would be faster than a coffee filter. So I use them as coasters because they're very absorbent if I spill things. Yeah, a double-layered Chuck's thing. I think I actually, now you've prompted my memory, I think I did that exact thing, like something like, I think it was the Jersey caramel vodka was too thick to even go through the coffee filter, and I think I did use Chuck's wipes as the filter. I think I have actually done that before because they're pretty good in terms of filtering, but yeah, they're also quite porous, so the drink will go through them and it will catch most of the solids. I mean, failing that, like I'm going to go shopping tomorrow. I'm going to go to Costco and the outlet mall. There's a place that, besides wanting to get some stuff from Costco, there's a place that specializes in kitchen supplies, and I hope it's open tomorrow because I want to get a thing that's known as a nut milk bag, which is like if you're making your own, almond milk or cashew milk. It's a really fine mesh bag, and you sort of spend stuff in it. But then you can squeeze out the liquid and leave the solids behind. I think it would be really good for making large volumes of the milk clarified punch, being able to actually filter big amounts at one go. So I looked up where to actually get, and of course there is the silly innuendo to be had with nut milk bags, which I am not above giggling at. And but I am probably going to seek that out tomorrow, along with a few other things, trying to diversify the body things. Speaking of diversifying, this is my latest project. Doing oleo saccharum. It's lemon and lime peel in here, and with caster sugar on it, which is like so slowly drawing the oils. The caster sugar is drawing the oils out of the peels and will absorb it. And then I'll add water and stir it in and dissolve the sugar, and then strain it. And then it'll be this zesty sugar syrup that also has the fruit oils in it. Rick, hey, how you going? I stumbled upon that looking at another website. I thought that sounds cool. I'm going to try that. And what I'm going to do I am going to make a cocktail video with this. You often see in these American cocktail recipes, they talk about, how do they describe it? Sour mix. There's this shit that they sell in bottle shops, liquor stores in America, they call sour mix, and they put it in all their friggin' cocktails. Like, I was mortified when I was reading this thing about, because one of my favorite cocktails is a whiskey sour, which is really nice and simple, but just really good, which is whiskey, usually a bourbon or rye, but literally whatever whiskey you like the taste of, with lemon juice, sugar syrup, and ideally egg white, and shaky, and the egg white just gives it foam and texture and whatnot. Or you do the milk clarified one like I did, which adds whey to it, and then you shake it up and it gets a head on it. Oh, I'm pretty impressed with how that worked. I posted pictures on my social media of my New York sour, my clarified New York sour. It looks really cool. It's layered. The whiskey sour bit is a really bright yellow, and then I got the layer of red wine on the top, really clearly delineated, and there's like a foam head on top. So it's this tricolor, worked very, very, very well. I was very impressed with that. But yeah, I was mortified when I read this article, or it might have even been a YouTube video I listened to, that is trying to explain to Americans they might be surprised at how good a cocktail a whiskey sour is, because too many Americans, what they think is a whiskey sour is something that they had a high school or college party, which is cheap bourbon and this fucking sour mix, which is just a sugary cordial that's supposed to be lemon lime flavor. And I've always been repulsed by that. Like, I'm not above using bottled lemon juice, bottled lime juice, just for convenience, and because it's often cheaper than fresh limes and fresh lemons. Fresh limes and fresh lemons do taste better, but I'm not above using bottled lemon juice. But the idea of this sour mix is gross. But then I realized when I was following this little tutorial for the oleo saccharum that this would be potentially a higher quality sour mix, in that it's got actual lime oils and lemon oils and sugar. So when I turn this into a sugar syrup, that is potentially a good quality sour mix. So I think what I'll do when I make that is I'm going to make one or two cocktails with fresh juice and sugar syrup like I normally would, and then make the same thing rather than juice and sugar syrup, and do a side-by-side comparison and see how different they taste. Because I'm looking forward to trying this one out. Yeah, Lee, Canada's famous for milk in a bag, which is weird to everyone else in the world, but yes. Oh, Kirsten, you happy bought you a frying pan and pot today. One of the things I am going to get when I go out tomorrow is a new frying pan or two, because I've just had to admit that the big old non-stick pan has totally given up non-sticking, and it sticks and it's not really usable anymore. Wish I could do something with it. Maybe I know a blacksmith who'd want to melt it down for the metal, because there's this big, heavy frying pan. Could use it in hand-to-hand combat still. Just can't really use it for cooking because everything sticks to it. Kirsten, I'm not surprised you can get sweet and sour mix at Dan's. They have all the things like the margarita mix and the fucking whatever else. Oh, Rick, you love a whiskey sour too? Nice. So this, I have actually edited the video for my clarified New York sour. That will be going live this week. I've got 2 videos already ready for this week. My homegrown week cocktails, wherein I make 3 Negroni variants with all Australian ingredients. And I'm quite happy with how they turned out. Yeah, which night? Because I actually drank them on a live stream. Is it Friday night? Might have been that recently. It was Thursday or Friday night. I drank them on a live stream. But I have, yes, so I have this week's 2 videos ready to go, Homegrownies and New York Sour. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm just trying to think if there's any more major event anniversaries, or is the it's Kirsten, you'd know this. It's like International Gin Day sometime soon, isn't it? I think you put your rubbish out tomorrow. I'm not surprised. The Garbos seem to pick up on their regular day, whether it be a public holiday or no. So good on you to our garbage collectors. Neither rain nor wind nor sleet nor snow, all those sorts of things. I envisage, be nice to garbage collectors, because I always think of the Homer Simpson episode when he started a fight with the garbage collectors. Kirsten, World Gin Day is on Saturday. Maybe, I mean, well, for a start, the Negronis have gin in them. Maybe I should do 3 videos this week. Put one up on Friday to get in just ahead of World Gin Day, because people might be searching for it. What would I do for World Gin Day? What's a quintessential gin cocktail or 2 that I haven't done? I know there's a Mrs. Angry likes gin, and maybe I could just do a gin tasting, because I've got 5 different gins now, and I'm like a total gin noob, and I could just do a tasting and try and describe the difference between them, and where I don't have the experience or the vocabulary to describe the differences between the gins. Well, how about Navy Grog? That must be a gin thing, I think, is it? Rum. No, it's all this one at least is all rums. Rum, lime juice, grapefruit juice, honey syrup. Yeah, there you go. Sure, I've seen a Navy Grog recipe that has gin in it. I could be wrong. Basil, rosemary, orange. Okay. Blood and Sands, like the classic. I'm not that huge a fan of a Blood and Sand. That's a Scotch cocktail. It's Scotch whiskey, cherry brandy, sweet vermouth, and orange juice. I'm not a huge fan of that one. But yeah, every time I go, like, oh, I'm not a huge fan of that, I'll bloody go with, I could milk clarify it. Dan Bilzerian. I vaguely know that name. Is that someone I know? He tried to turn you into a Trump supporter. Well, that's not good. Hey, Glee. Yes, I'm wearing my lumberjack shirt. I have several of these because I'm a Westie. Glee, rum has an adverse effect on you, but you like it. Well, that's noble. A bramble gimlet. I could certainly do that. Use the what do you call it? The marionette mure. That would be a good ingredient in that. Oh, Kirsten, actually, it's something I wanted to ask you because I feel like you would know. You would know. Is there a good Australian brandy? Because I was realizing it's something I'm almost out of my brandy, and I didn't know if there was an Australian brandy that was worth having. Mm. The Bloody Oath and Sand, the Okar, yes. Yes, Rick. Bee's Knees is a popular gin cocktail. Salty Dog, yes. Gimlet's classic. In the simplest version is actually gin and lime cordial, and not like Cotty's Cooler lime cordial, like an old school lime cordial. Most bars these days, I think, would make it with lime juice and sugar syrup rather than a lime cordial. Rick, what's my opinion of Saint Germain? Tasty, tasty, tasty. It's probably a bit sweet and rich to drink on its own, but I think it's a very good cocktail ingredient. The elderflower liqueur is a very good cocktail ingredient. Brightens up a whole range of cocktails. So very, very much the thumbs up for Saint Germain. Kirsten, see, that's not one you know though. I have actually look. Okay, we're on the internet. Let me search Australian brandy. Australian brandy. Oh my god, McWilliams. $9 at Liquorland. That is not what I'm after. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting article. How brandy's been making a comeback in Australia. Fuck off with your pop-ups. Oh, Jesus. Fucking ads on websites. Seriously. Brandy was once the most widely produced spirit in Australia, but that prevalence was also its downfall. Talking the past when low-quality hospital brandy was commonly consumed. 23rd Street Distillery. Okay, they do make black bottle brandy. Okay. They also have one they call Not Your Nana's brandy. There you go. Ooh, okay. And St. Agnes do an XO range, which is an aged brandy. I think it has to be aged at least 6 years. St. Agnes Distillery. Ew. Jesus. Up to $750 a bottle. Jesus. That's not what I mean. Cognac, the finest of fine brandy. So that black, was it black bottle brandy, is actually Australian. I have seen that. That's apparent. They're saying that's one of the oldest brandies made in Australia. Oh my God, this is one of those fucking websites that hijacks your fucking back button. Fucking piece of shit. Fucking hate websites that hijack your fucking browser. Kirsten, the 23rd Street's on special at Liquorland for $15, $20. You see, Rick, brandy as a cocktail ingredient. I never knew I liked brandy till I started using it in cocktails. Annette, it's gin o'clock, is it? Okay. I gave you your first absinthe cocktail, did I, Glee? That's all right. So, Kirsten, you make lazy gimlets with Bilson's 1865 cordial. Ooh, nice. Was it gin? Glee gin has a bad rep. It has all those great nicknames like Mother's Ruin. Glee likes a rusty nail. So, Australian brandy. Okay, so the 23rd Street Distillery, they're not your Nana's brandy, is, how much is it? Like $50? Yeah, $50 for their fancy brandy. 23rd Street Distillery is not your Nana's brandy. As they also, according to this article, make the black bottle. Ooh, yeah, mere $35. I guess I'm not that worried about brandy, but it's a good ingredient. Glee, I am on just YouTube and Facebook. My StreamYard subscription lets me stream to 2 platforms. If I want to stream to more than that, I have to pay for an upgrade, but I don't really want to stream to more than that. I did play with Twitch for a while, but I could never really get into Twitch. And Twitch started to creep me out because Twitch has like these gambler type incentives to stream for an absurdly long time. Like, oh, yeah, here you go. Here's your little reward. You've got this badge. And it got to the stage where it was like, you know, oh, to get to the next level, you have to stream 100 hours in the next month. And I was like, fuck off. The fuck? And so I ditched bloody Twitch. And Fletch, your mother has a brandy a night. Oh, there you go. Oh, nice Aussie pun there, Pete. Looking for Ali Brandy. Yes. Was it? There's a 90s book and film. That's an interesting one, Kirsten. 23rd does 200 mils. I should just look straight at these days. Want to go straight to the maker's website because everyone's going, okay, 23rd Street Distillery. Yes, I'm of legal drinking age and then some. Prime spirits for the liberated palate. So their current range is gin, not your Nana's brandy, Prime 5 brandy, a hybrid whiskey, a rose vodka, barrel-aged gin, Navy strength gin, vodka, a single malt whiskey, and a signature rum, and a signature gin and tonic. Ooh, and a violet gin. Violet gins are coming out more and more. There's lots of purple gins about. So, okay. They don't actually sell through their website, I don't think. They sell through various stockists. All right. Well, I was just gonna consider being good to the maker, but they just go through stockists. Prime brandy. Who sells prime brandy? Lots of places do. Seem to have a lot of stockists in Melbourne. Anyway, so there are Australian brandies. Hey, Bex, how you doing? Yes, VCE, I think looking for Alabrandy hit school curriculums in the 90s. Rick, you have a purple gin called Empress. There seem to be a lot of them now. Ooh, because then everyone's doing butterfly pea flower gin because bitches love it. Yes, I think there's a real trend at the moment for the purple gins. Yeah, Glee, who's Stalkers? Glee, you like the sound of rose vodka? Yeah, I mean, there was some interesting sounding stuff on their products. Oh, what was that one you were talking about the other night, Kirsten? The one from Tasmania. They had a gin liqueur that you said was really good. So many choices out there. So much to choose from. As paralyzed by choice. I also realized, I was looking at my bank balance and going, I actually haven't been spending that much money, which is obviously a good thing because we live in odd and precarious economic times, and I may well need my pennies coming up. But I'm not going to be too guilty about, a treat yourself moment because I've actually been pretty responsible. That's it, Kirsten. Knock lofty. Yes. They had a couple of really interesting sounding ones. Fletcher, we're just casually throwing out Navy strength gins. I've got a Navy strength gin here, an Australian Navy strength gin from the Tiny Bear Distillery. Ooh, Rick, there's a Canadian gin called Ungava, yellow color. Oh, nice. Yes, Kirsten, you have so many bottles of booze. I know, it makes me feel responsible. Oh gosh, Invisible Chicken, you've been completely irresponsible with online shopping. I was close to Matt and Cole, aka Lemonhead86. Hello. Morning. Oh God, you've got to remind me, what part of the world are you in? What time is it for you? So it'd be Sunday morning for you and for Rick too, I guess. Oh, Glee, Twitch. Yeah, no, Twitch are freaking, you're really persistent. Yes, Bex. I was thinking because I probably need to get a rum, and I'm definitely getting Australian rum, and I think I will go Beanley. I had their white rum before, just because I liked having a white rum that I could color and flavor with other stuff. But Beanley seemed to have a couple of good rums that I think I might try next. Lemonhead, you're in Toronto. Cool. Oh, see, Invisible Chicken. If you've been shopping but buying Australian, that's all good. Yeah, Catherine, I think that's what's happening with me with saving money in lockdown. Nowhere to go. Never out shopping, so saving money. Absolutely. Pete, your splurge was a couple of albums in band camp, waiving their fees period. Oh, that's not bad. 4:30 a.m. Rick, have you been up all night or are you up early? Insomniac. It's interesting to me how often I get insomniacs tuning in, which I'm totally on board for. just going to check something because I managed to upset TERFs on Facebook earlier tonight, which is funny to me. So I'm just not particularly worried about it because, any minor hassle I get from TERFs is nothing compared to what trans people actually get from them. So, smoke in the wind as far as I'm concerned. So, not particularly bothered by it. Yeah. They're just boring as hell, basically. So, okay, I have the luxury of saying TERFs are boring because they're not trying to erase me. And it isn't just because I have a lot of trans friends that I have no time for TERFs. They're shitheads generally. Rick had a cigar night and relaxing. You've been having a big night, mate. Love it. Philip, do I have more live views on Facebook or Twitch? Well, I don't use Twitch. I never really built any views on Twitch, so I get more on Facebook. Yes, so I get some people on Facebook, get more views on YouTube. Peter, it was Harry Potter related. It was the latest bullshit from J.K. Rowling. That she's being stupid as hell. Like, she made the reference to you shouldn't refer to people who menstruate. You should just say women. And I was like, well, this is typical of TERFs. They're not just slagging off trans women, trans men as well, for that matter. They're also slagging off cis women as soon as it doesn't fit their ideology and throw them under the bus, because there's a really significant number of cis women who don't menstruate. And for J.K. Rowling to be saying shit as stupid as, women are defined by their menstruation is just fucking ridiculous. And it shows a complete lack of thought. But anyway. Yeah, Philip, I now limit the stream to Facebook and YouTube as well. Yes, but that's a good summary. Rowling has been awful for a while, but she's just being more and more open. And that's what you get with TERFs. They tend to be really proud of their fucking ignorance and bigotry. I read a really funny article a while ago. The BBC, there's this meeting of, the women in BBC and the old guard feminists of basically my generation and older, who'd been at the BBC for decades, who were real TERFy. And when they started to bring it up, all the younger women at this meeting just went right off, like, what the fuck? Why don't you fucking get it? Why are you like this? And the older women, obviously not all of them, but the TERFy ones were just absolutely flummoxed, like, because their orthodoxy from the 80s, and I remember this all too well. Yeah, Fletch, like Jermaine Greer worshippers. I remember this all too well from the 80s, that they just equated trans women with drag queens, really gauche drag queens at that. And to a quite significant degree, I can understand women being not completely enthused as to what could be perceived as a drag queen's view of what a woman actually is. But yes, we've moved on and we've learned more. Well, we've been given the opportunity to learn more about trans issues. Some choose not to. Gecko, how are you doing, buddy? Yeah, Bex, she's the turf. Is that true, Fletcher? Jermaine Greer says Queenslanders are stupid and she lives on the Gold Coast. Well, I don't know. I mean, like a lot of people who spend a long time in the public eye, Jermaine Greer regularly appears to me to be someone who says extreme things to stay in the public eye, trying to shake things up. And it's like, hey, if that's your thing, go for it. Just don't be surprised if people get pissed off at you. Because that's like, 99 times out of 100, if someone's pissed off at me, that was my deliberate aim. So if someone gets pissed off at me, I'm like, yeah, that's what I was doing. I singled out someone who I don't like and wanted to piss off, and that's you apparently. So there you go. It's a bit disingenuous when someone says or does something that's obviously designed to piss people off and then act hard done by when people say, hey, I'm pissed off at you. So not that Jermaine Greer necessarily does that. I think she maybe goes with it when people get pissed off at her. But you know what I might try? The milk clarified Sazerac. I want to see if, okay, this one I want to shake up to see if I can make it look like a beer. Shake it really hard for a while. That's what she said. To see if I can make it look like a beer. I want to get the right glass out of the dishwasher. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll Pilsner glass. So it looks like I'm drinking a beer. So I'll show you it's been chilling in the fridge. I ran this through like 3 times. So it's much browner than the other milk clarified drinks I've done. And it's a bit lighter in real life, a bit clearer. I'm going to shake it with me. Bex, well, yeah, I mean, clearly Clementine Ford is deliberately throwing hand grenades. And I'm completely on board. I'm sure Clementine Ford said stuff I don't agree with because that's just nature. Someone will say something you don't agree with, but I'm totally on board with everything I can remember saying it. Yes, Rick, that was apparently, rumor has it, that was an official directive. Cops in England who were doing like anti-gay campaigns, what they call it cottaging in the UK, trying to pick someone up in a public toilet. And yeah, the story goes that when they were being given a briefing on, okay, we're going to be staking out the public toilets. Like, I don't know what they're doing, drilling a hole in the wall and peering at guys taking a piss. And, if they're gay, we're going to bust them. And someone said, how will we know if they're gay or not? And the response was, if they shake it more than 3 times, arrest them. Which is like, oh, gee, okay, cool. That's how Alan Jones got busted. So this is my exercise for the day. I'm going to shake this for about 30 seconds. Oh, Bex, I'm with you that it doesn't do to spend too much emotional or mental energy on rolling. Because, yeah, as you say, she's hassled people that don't deserve to be hassled. Wow, this is actually really cold. There's no ice in here. But my shaker is getting really cold, like slightly painful to hold, actually. But okay, that should be enough. See if that put a head on it. Kinda. But it's also really cloudy, so it doesn't look like beer now. It's clearing pretty rapidly, though. But the head's not staying. That's really interesting. When I did this with a whiskey sour, the head stayed the whole time. All right. I'll let that clear so it looks nicer. Fletcher, the police will play with their dicks and arrest them if... Oh, yes. Bit of how's your father? Well, yeah, that's how they got Alan Jones. And George Michael. I'll put this little ball of ice in here. I'll regret it. There we go. Yes. Well, the police have long been rather shameless with their persecution. Rick, you think it looks like a wheat beer? So, yeah, this is essentially a milk clarified Sazerac. So it's whiskey. It was bourbon, absinthe, and some sweetener, some sugar syrup. And I'm trying to remember if I put lemon juice or grapefruit juice in it because I needed some acid content to trigger the curdling process. You're officially thirsty. Oh, that still really tastes like whiskey. It's really good. Yes, no, this is good. It's great because it normally keeps the flavors of all the stuff you put in it, but takes off harsh edges. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, this really tastes like whiskey, but it's a really gentle whiskey. That's really, really good. Philip, you can't believe it's recently the majority of insults boiled down to you're a dude who died. Oh, yeah. No, that's how I grew up. That was well, I mean, it's still, if you do online gaming, fag is still the insult du jour. But I mean, it was, when I grew up, it was a bad one. Like, it was the worst one. Well, I mean, I'm old enough that when I was growing up, homosexuality was still illegal, I think, everywhere in Australia. And so that was the worst insult. Calling someone gay was the worst insult. Oh, Rick, you have a few bottles of absinthe from your trips to Prague. They do love their absinthe in Central Europe. Mine is actually Spanish. It's called Jacques Sarraud, but it's Spanish, and they specialize in really high proof absinthes. And they color code them. Like, green's like a traditional color for absinthe, and the Jacques Sarraud green absinthe is 70% alcohol, and then there's a red one that's 75% alcohol. I currently have a blue one that's 80% alcohol, and they have a black one that's 85% alcohol. So, and I've had the black one before, and I've had the red one before. So, I think I've had some Czech absinthe before that actually still had the herbs in the bottle. They had the herbs floating in the bottle. And there's another one that's very high octane, which like goes up to 85%. They have a few variants again. I think it's a French one. I don't really feel the need to have two sorts of absinthe. Yes, Fletcher, it would make an effective hand sanitizer. Probably, if you like licorice, really nice smelling hand sanitizer. And yes, Invisible Chicken, Tasmania was the last to change their laws. although the cops, as a rule, weren't enforcing it. But I remember the activists, when they were trying to get it taken off the books, they would front up to police stations and say, you need to arrest me under statute XYZ, whatever it was that was criminalizing homosexuality. And the cops say, why? Because I had his dick in my mouth last night and the law says I committed a crime. And the cops are going, okay, I get what you're doing. Yep. No, please don't make my life hard. And so they finally took it off the books in the 90s. Pete, you got bullying and harassment at school. Yeah, for being perceived as gay. And so if you actually were gay and you were just told that everyone hates you, what the fuck? That's the thing. Fletcher, you think Melbourne loves ouzo? A lot of Greeks in Melbourne. One of the largest Greek diaspora populations in the world, I'm led to believe. They never know if that's folklore or not. Like, there was always a thing like Melbourne had the second largest Greek population in the world after Athens. And I don't know if statistics like that are ever true or if it's just, popular folklore that people start believing. But, my mate Nick loves ouzo. Like when I said I liked absinthe, he's going, oh, good, you've got to drink ouzo with me. If you like absinthe, you'll like ouzo. They're both aniseed-based spirits, so they have a licorice taste. There's quite a few anise spirits and liqueurs that have that licorice flavor. But yeah, Nick was like, oh, no one ever drinks ouzo with me. So you've got to drink ouzo with me because you'll like it if you like absinthe. So. Yes, that's true, Fletcher. The Nazis killed at least 60,000 men with the pink triangle. They perceived them to be going, what was... there was a guy who made a really good speech at the firing squad. I'm going to try and find him. That would be him, Willem Arondis. I think I found him. Dutch artist, joined the Dutch anti-Nazi resistance movement. He was gay and he was also in the resistance, so the Nazis executed him. His final words were, tell the people that homosexuals are not by definition weak. Just fucking saying that to the firing squad. It's just like, fucking hell. Hardcore dude. Rick, if I like that flavor, you might want to look up Berchovka. I think I have seen that into shops. Berchovka. There's lots of anise spirits and liqueurs. But you're looking for soju. Okay. I don't have any Japanese spirits or fortified wines, sakes or anything. Fletcher, how cool was that guy? He was in the anti-Nazi resistance. He was openly gay. And when they finally caught him, executed him. Final words, tell the people homosexuals are not by definition weak. And it's just like, just a final fuck you to the Nazis. I love the number of stories of the people who were executed by the Nazis. And the last thing was a big fuck you. There was like a girl, she was only like 19 or something. She was a major resistance figure and they executed her, and her last words were along the lines of, it was right up there with, I regret I have only one life to give my country. I wish I could remember what her final words were because they were really killer. It was just like, but it was basically, final words were, fuck all of you Nazi motherfuckers. And it's just, because she was a communist, and she was only about 19 when they executed her. She might have actually only been 17. I know she was very young, and her last words were just a big fuck you to the Let's see how good my Google Foo is. Executed by Nazis. I reckon this is her, Hanny Shaft. Let's have a look. Oh no, she was 25. Resistance work, her death. She was eventually arrested at a military checkpoint for distributing communist newspaper. No, that's not her, but she was a martyr to the cause, fighting the Nazis. Liparadic. Was it her? Yeah, okay, she was only about 18. A Yugoslav partisan. Executed at the age of 17 for shooting at German troops. As the captors tied a noose around her neck, they offered her a way out of the gallows by revealing her comrades' and leader's identity. She responded she was not a traitor. Her comrades would reveal themselves when they avenged her death. Fuck yeah! That's what you say to Nazis. So more formally, her reputed last words are, I am not a traitor of my people. Those whom you are asking about will reveal themselves when they have succeeded in wiping out all you evildoers to the last man. You know, if you're going to go out, the Nazis are going to execute you, you fucking go out with a big old fuck you. Oh, who was that one, Fletcher? General Rom was one of the ones killed in the Night of the Long Knives. Oh, okay. Was that the? I know, because a lot of Night of the Long Knives, the Hitler loyalists killed a bunch of people that they thought were not completely trustworthy within their ranks. It wouldn't be surprised if they decided, oh, he's a homosexual, he has to go. But you want to go the Inglorious Bastards route? I don't. That movie cracks me up, honestly, because just, you know, in a world where if you decry Nazis, you get called a softy do-gooder. A movie where there's this squad whose one goal in life is to brutally kill as many Nazis as possible and strike terror into them is pretty goddamn funny, honestly. Was the bit where they like, is all that time jumping there because they've captured some Germans and they want information off them, and the senior guy, sergeant, is the first one they say, like, you're going to tell us where, you know, the rest of these troops are, and he's like, no, you know, I'm not a traitor. And so Aldo says to him, like, you know, we're going to kill you. If you don't tell us, we're going to kill you. You know who the Bear Jew is and what he does. He's going to get you. And he said, I'm not a traitor. And then Aldo just laughs and says, tell you the truth, we're really glad you said that, because honestly, watching him beat Nazis' heads in is the closest thing to entertainment we get. It's like, oh my fuck. Yes, Bex, the really surprising end, and the movie's been out for 10 years, so I don't consider this a spoiler, that they actually kill Hitler. Like, Tarantino keeps making revenge films. Like Death Proof was where these women get revenge on this guy who's like a serial killer, who kills women in auto accidents, and then this group of women turn on him and kill him. And of course, Inglourious Bastards is a big anti-Nazi revenge film, and Django Unchained is a big slavery revenge film, and was that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was its revenge against the Manson family. And the way he changes history, like in Inglourious Bastards, changes history by having them actually kill Hitler. And in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they kill the Manson family people. It's just great. He's got such a weird sense of humor, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, I think on top of everything else, Inglourious Bastards is an incredibly well-made film. Like, it really highlights Quentin Tarantino is technically a brilliant filmmaker. The opening sequence with the Jew hunter in the French farm is one of the most amazing openings. And it's just so gutsy because it's just this really quiet dialogue for 20 minutes. And to have the courage to have a film open that quietly and that you really, really create this character of Hans Landa is absolutely amazing. And just such a compelling opening to a film for this whole period where nothing happens apart from these two guys talking for like 20 minutes. It's so compelling. And the drama is just drawn so tight in that. It's amazing. Philip, yeah, Kill Bill's just a big revenge film. 2 revenge films. Oh, I think I've seen that too, Fletcher. Tarantino saying Mad Dog Morgan was one of his favorite films. I think that's like a 70s Ozploitation film, bushranger film. Dennis Hopper, I think, plays the lead in Mad Dog Morgan. I think I probably saw it once, but so long ago, I don't remember anything about it. I just sort of remember it's like weird bushranger film with Dennis Hopper. But oh no, Catherine, the first scene isn't slow and hard to get through. It's absolutely compelling. Absolutely compelling, with this Nazi officer just talking to this French farmer and trying to track down a Jewish family that's in hiding. Absolutely compelling. And that's what I'm saying. It's amazing that all it is these two guys sitting at a table talking, and it's gripping. And the tension starts to ratchet up and ratchet up and ratchet up till it's just drawn so taut. It is. And again, Christoph Waltz is amazing. I mean, he has a really long career as an actor, and like the world outside of Germany like rediscovered him after Inglourious Bastards. But whew, is absolutely amazing in that opening scene. But yes, just broadly for the Nazi killing. Every man owes me 20 Nazi. What's it? No, it's 100. It's 100, isn't it? 100 Nazi scalps, and I intend to collect. Oh, Peter, a masterclass in tension building. You recommend both The Witch and Hereditary. I watched Hereditary, and I guess straight up horror films often don't do it for me. I certainly didn't hate Hereditary, but it's like, okay, straight horror films don't really do it for me. Having said that, Get Out was amazing. Watching the tension build in that, and to the ultimate reveal of what the fuck is happening. But just the tension build, just the something's wrong, something is so wrong here. And just like nothing really graphic happens, but it's just like, oh, this is fucking wrong. What the fuck? Something is wrong here. Something is wrong. Rick, a friend gave you a bottle of Cinzano. There are good vermouth recipes out there. I mean, this was making Negronis last week. Vermouth's a big thing in that. I actually prefer a Manhattan to a Negroni. So that's a whiskey and vermouth cocktail. Peter, I thought Us was pretty good, but I wasn't really on board with the reveal in it. Like the twist bit was good, and I really liked it. But the overall reveal, I was just kind of like, because and again, possibly it was only disappointing to me because I thought the whole build up to it was fucking great, like really good. And I was a bit let down by the ultimate reveal, but Jordan Peele is a good filmmaker. He is a very good, for a guy who is known for sketch comedy. He turns out to be an astonishingly good filmmaker. Kirsten, you ran out of your sweet for me. Trying to buy more Maidenai. I've still got Maidenai Classic. I think when I use that up, I will get Maidenai Sweet. Although I've got the Regal Rogue Bright White, which is, I don't know if they classify. I think it's fairly sweet. It's certainly not dry. Yeah, and now I've got the one from Applewood. They're what do they call it? The yuzu. Well, I've got my postcard here. What do they call it? Unico Yuzu Sweet Vermouth, which is really, really fucking nice. A very good vermouth. It was not until I found Maidenai that I realized I actually liked vermouth. I love that bit. Us deserves an Oscar purely for the scene where she asks Alexa to call the police and it starts blasting out "Fuck the Police" by NWA. Ooh, Lee, I agree. When you say The Watchmen, if you mean the TV series, I thought the TV series of Watchmen was stunningly good. Just such a surprise because my hopes for it were very, very low. I thought, oh God, how are you going to do it? But Jesus, it was good. If you read the Watchmen comic, and a lot of people rag on the Zack Snyder Watchmen movie, but I think it would have actually been pretty difficult to make a better movie of Watchmen. There were some choices they made in it, and I was like, really? Okay. But I think it would have been difficult to make a better movie of The Watchmen. But so if you've seen the movie The Watchmen or read the comic The Watchmen, it's just called Watchmen, not The Watchmen. The TV series is fucking great. And like I said, I had very low expectations for it. I thought, look, the most likely outcome is this is going to be a disaster. And it took some of the themes from Watchmen and just went with them. Just really, really went out there. Like it broke completely new ground. And it felt sort of, to me, it felt faithful to the spirit of the comic, but broke completely new ground. P.D.A. Snyder for ruining Dawn of the Dead. Did he do the remake of Dawn of the Dead? I don't know if I've seen it. A lot of people, he did Man of Steel, didn't he? A lot of people rag on that. I thought Batman v Superman was pretty stupid. I kind of like Man of Steel. I think Henry Cavill is a really good Superman. And the Justice League movie was, wasn't terrible, but it was, the Batman v Superman had some moments, but was overall pretty fucked. But yeah, Zack Snyder is not a great filmmaker. He's not terrible, but he's not great. Yeah, Visible Chicken, I think the Watchmen movie is good. Like, I honestly think you can pick flaws in it, but it would be hard to make a better film. And a couple of the performances, Dr. Man. Basically, a lot of people pick on the guy who played Adrian Veidt, however you pronounce it. But I don't know. I thought he was fine. Most of the other ones, the other performances are fucking great. From the comedian to Dr. Manhattan, all the other vigilantes. And of course, Rorschach was the actor who does Rorschach is beyond brilliant. He is absolutely the high point of the Watchmen movie. He is so fucking good. He's incredible. And you only like the Wonder Woman bits in Batman v Superman. I think the Wonder Woman movie is probably the best of the DC movies. There's some stuff in it that you're like, really? Okay. I'm kind of keen to see when cinemas are open again and Wonder Woman 1980 whatever comes out. That could be good. Like it looks like it could be really good. It obviously could be terrible, but it could be good. Oh my gosh. Yes. Catherine, CGing out Henry Cavill's mustache. How weird. How weird was that? Oh, Invisible Chicken Shazam was really entertaining. I really enjoyed Shazam. Very good fun. And I think that was one of the few times in DC films they stopped being so serious and they just had some fun, and it really worked. The Marvel films were much better at having fun. It's like they're hardly major epochs in cinema history, but they can be very entertaining. I just thought one of the things, like one of the spin-off ones in the Marvel one, Ant-Man, which is broadly good fun, but the bit I loved in Ant-Man is when Hank Pym's saying to Ant-Man, we've got to do this bad guy doing this, we've got to stop them. And the first thing he says is, hey, this is bad. Why don't we call the Avengers? Because in all these movies, in a universe where there's a whole roster of incredibly powerful mutants and superheroes and vigilantes, they never mention anyone who's not in the movie. And so when Hank Pym is telling him how bad the situation is, the first thing he says is, why don't we call the Avengers? Because this sounds bad. And they had but they also had the perfect payoff with Hank Pym saying, I didn't spend my whole life keeping this tech out of the hand of one Stark to give it to another. So that was a really good payoff. Lee, are you saying the actress in Captain Marvel got an Oscar for Captain Marvel? Because that doesn't sound familiar, although I don't pay that much attention to the Oscars. I thought Captain Marvel was fun. The bit that made me piss myself laughing in Avengers Endgame, in the big final battle, because Marvel have got used to the misogynist dickbags upset at female superheroes. So there's this one scene where all the female characters are together and they rescue Peter Parker. Like Captain Marvel says something like, "You got something for me, Peter Parker." I thought, oh my God, they did that just to piss off the misogynist dickbags, and I'm so on board with that. I thought that was hilarious. Nothing funnier than winding up dickbags. Yes, Invisible Chicken, Deadpool 2, where he keeps making references to, it's a big house, why don't I see anyone else? Can't we get someone? And there's that little cutaway scene where he doesn't realize X-Men are in there having a meeting. and they close the door as he walks past. I have a real soft spot for the Deadpool movies. I enjoy them a lot. Hey, feeling silly, how you going? Yeah, I'm with you, Annette and Catherine. I quite liked Captain Marvel. I think in terms of all of them, because we often go and see them on date nights, because it's fun entertainment going to see the big action films. I think Wonder Woman is still Mrs. Angry's favorite of the superhero movies, comic book movies. I definitely have a soft spot for Deadpool. I think there's some really funny stuff in it. And but even more, most of the Marvel and DC films, it's like take your brain out and put it in a jar because you won't need it and it will just bother you because you'll start saying, well, that doesn't make sense. But the Deadpool one is really like, oh, no, nothing in this is going to make sense, okay? So just roll with it. Because they continually do ridiculous things that should absolutely kill characters, and they seem to suffer no ill effects from it whatsoever. Like unless your mutant power is invulnerability. Yep, Invisible Chicken. I never saw that. The very Deadpool Christmas that they do, the Princess Bride thing. That never came out on digital, did it? I kept expecting it to come out on digital. I never got to see it in the cinema. I expected it to come out on digital though, and to the best of my knowledge, it never did. Because The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies of all time. And the fact that you've got Deadpool kidnapping Fred Savage to read him a story is just fucking gold as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I don't mind. I enjoy mindless entertainment. Mind you, I gave myself the heavy. Someone in the chat was saying, "Hey, have you watched the 13th or the 14th? The one about what's it called? The 13th, the 13th Amendment. It's a documentary about the 13th Amendment is the amendment to the US Constitution that outlawed slavery, but there's a caveat in there that says unless you've been convicted of a crime. And yes, it was you, Invisible Chick. I watched it today. It's a really good doco. And it's weird because watching it was like there wasn't really stuff in it I didn't know. Like I knew basically all the stuff they were saying in it, but just to get it laid out one after the other, like the entrenched racism in America, just laid out, and whoa, it's very powerful, very powerful. Oh, Feeling Steely, you're on board. ROUSs, I don't believe in them. Yes. If you've never watched The Princess Bride, go watch The Princess Bride. I love it so. Ooh, the oil's really coming out. I just noticed the oil is really coming out. It's the oil. You won't be able to see it, I don't think, but the oil is turning the sugar into syrup. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm just going to get a spoon. I'm going to make the stove shut up because the stove's making annoying noises. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The oils have come out and they're turning the caster sugar into this is working real. The guide to this said to leave it for 12 to 24 hours. And I made this like early afternoon today. So tomorrow, I'm going to turn this into a syrup. Probably make a video. Like, this is all boring. I'll start off saying, see, I got this. I peeled some lemons and limes, covered them in caster sugar, left it for a day. Now we blend it with some water, make a syrup. Now I think I'll do a comparison. Make one cocktail with this syrup. Oh my God, that's really zingy. I shouldn't just eat sugar like this, but It tastes really good. Peter, yes. Oh my God, I could quote Princess Bride no end. Someone called the Brute Squad. I am the Brute Squad. No, he says, I'm on the Brute Squad. He goes, you are the Brute Squad. I'm sure I've told this story before. One of my favorite memories back in the days when there were video stores. And this was a very long time ago when I was still living in Sydney. So it was the 90s. And there was one I passed as I think it was in the underground bit of Wynyard. And good evening, Stella. Underground bit of Wynyard. And they were playing The Princess Bride in the shop window. And it was just coming up. The Spaniard was confronting the six-fingered man. And I thought, this is one of my favorite scenes. I'm just going to start watching it. And the guy in the shop saw me watching it. So he turned up the volume to do it. And some guy, I don't know, just because I was watching it, he stopped to watch it. And it ended up becoming clear he'd never seen it. Because for those who haven't seen the movie, again, this is a fucking 30-year-old film. So I don't feel bad about this little bit of a spoiler. The Spaniard had said he's after this guy, the six-fingered man who killed his father. And he says, been chasing him for, 20 years. And is going, when I find him, I'm going to say, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And he finally gets a one-on-one with the six-fingered man. And he does it. He goes, hello, my name's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And kills like 6 bodyguards that the six-fingered man has. Six-fingered man runs away. Inigo Montoya chases him. And six-fingered man does a dirty trick and throwing knife sort of stabs Inigo Montoya in the gut. And the other thing is he gave as a child, because he killed his father when he was a child, he cut both his cheeks, so he's got these scars on each cheek. And so he does this dirty trick with the throwing knife, gets the Spaniard in the gut, and it looks like it over, and he goes with a sword to finish him off, but the Spaniard deflects and deflects and deflects, and then he gets back to his feet, and he sort of, struggles and says, my name's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And he keeps doing it. And he's sort of getting his spirit back. And he's like screaming, hello, my name's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And the six-fingered man's freaking out saying, stop saying that. And Inigo cuts both of the six-fingered man's cheeks. So he's got the same cuts on his cheek. And then he's got the six-fingered man cornered. He's knocked the sword out. He's holding him at sword point, and he's holding him at sword point, and he's going, please don't kill me. He goes, offer me riches. And he goes, yes, I'll give you gold and riches. He goes, offer me how? Yes, I'll give you. Offer me whatever I want. He goes, yes, whatever you want. And the guy he's got completely defensive sword, he just runs him through and says, I want my father back, you son of a bitch. And the guy standing next to me, who's clearly never seen this, because Inigo Montoya is clearly the good guy. The six-fingered man is obviously the bad guy. And the situation where the good guy has the bad guy unarmed and completely at his mercy, the good guy does not run the bad guy through with a sword. But that's what Inigo Montoya does. And there's just a bit where he goes, I want my father back, you son of a bitch, and runs him through. The guy next to me flinched. It was like, what the fuck? It was a precious memory of mine. Well, Peter, there's the Andre the Giant document on HBO. Although, watch it knowing you should never believe a word Hulk Hogan says. That's good advice for life generally, Pete. Never believe a word Hulk Hogan says. That was pretty good. This tasted remarkably smoky, which is surprising because it was bourbon, not scotch in that. And I didn't really get, maybe that's what happens with the absinthe, because I didn't get any of the absinthe aniseed flavor at all. And I put a whole shot in. Like Sazerac normally only has dashes of absinthe or an absinthe rinse. And I sort of did a double volume one, but put a full shot of absinthe in there. Maybe that's what gave it the smoky characteristic. I don't know, but it was really fucking good. Invisible Chicken. You've actually read William Goldman's book. Okay, there you go. Kirsten, your husband's watching a lot of WWE docos. Okay, cool. Yes, Andre the Giant was good, Rick, definitely. Oh, yeah, Invisible Chicken. Mandy Patinkin was great as the Spaniard, Inigo Montoya. He was also really good. There was a sci-fi film, late 80s or early 90s, called Alien Nation, where Mandy Patinkin is this alien who gets partnered with a bigoted human cop. Really good movie. And again, Mandy Patinkin's good in pretty much everything. He's done a lot of TV in the last 10 or so years. He's been in some pretty big series in the last 10, 20 years. Mandy Patinkin's basically good in pretty much anything he does. Rick, you're on board with the full shot of absinthe. Yeah. I want to use up this orange juice. I don't know whether to make a cocktail now or... that's right. Ochre bloody oath and sand. What's in an ochre bloody oath and sand? No, it's not turning up on the ochre site. Okay, fine. What's this? Oh, what the fuck was that? No, I don't remember. Kirsten, do you remember the actual ingredients in a bloody oath and sand? Ooh, I'm so enamored of how this is working really well. The citrus oils are just turning the caster sugar into a syrup already. Just got to add some water and just really get the flavor. God, I'm looking forward to seeing what this does with the drink. Maybe make a whiskey sour with this. I don't know. I'll have to decide what to make with it. Kirsten's got to find it's probably a video on their Facebook. That makes sense. So the Bloody Oath and Sand is an ossified blood and sand, which is a traditional Scotch cocktail with vermouth and orange juice. Trying to decide whether to use the orange juice in a cocktail or make another milk punch. I made my hands really sticky. I should go and wash them. No, I'm fine. I just wipe my sticky fingers on my shirt. I just check this in the basket. I don't have anything to drink. Is this ice melted? Inhaled some spit. Just to share that with you. Okay. What does liquor.com say about orange juice? Gila blood orange. Orange blossom. Campari orange. T-bird. Screwdriver. Grand orange Collins. Fresh juice recipes. Turmeric cocktails. No country for orange men. Okay, that is going to get a look in just because it's a great name. No country for orange men. What's in that? Scotch. Oh God, they specify Aberlour 12-year-old Scotch. I don't have a 12-year-old Scotch, and I'm not going to put 12. Scotch, mezcal, orange juice. They say blood orange juice. I've got some, but I want to use some orange juice. Pistachio orgeat syrup. Well, I've got some orgeat. It's not pistachio orgeat. Luxardo aperitivo. That I could use I could use Oka. Oh yeah, I'm going to make this one. Place cherry hearing. So it's 20 mils Oka, 20 mils whiskey, 20 mils sweet vermouth, 20 mils orange juice. Ooh. So now I got to decide. I know, and the Okas are, Jesus, it's a really strong substitute for cherry hearing, because cherry hearing is just this really sweet cherry liqueur, and Okar's got a really, really strong flavor. Lady Snowblood, Invisible Chicken. I haven't. Isn't that what Quentin Tarantino calls Lucy Liu's character in Kill Bill Volume 1? It sounds like an anime, and I don't watch a lot of anime. You know what? I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go at the Bloody Oath and Sand. Orange juice. I think there's 20 mils of it left. I'll top it up with blood orange if I need to. Right, got my jigger, got my shaker. Scotch. Got my Costco blended scotch. This is actually quite reasonable quality. I'm not a big scotch drinker, but it's actual scotch. Like Kirkland, aka Costco, have just gone to various distilleries and sourced a bunch of whiskies to have a blend. It's quite a pleasant scotch. I don't know. Maybe hardcore scotch drinkers would hate it. I don't know. I'm not a hardcore scotch drinker though. So this is 20 mils of every. God, I might go a bit light on the Oka, honestly, because it's a very strong flavor. But we'll go scotch. Scotchy scotch. Vermouth. All right, I'm going to use the Oka sweet vermouth as well. Or the one the Oka people gave me anyway. So that's in here in its special little bottle. And my Oka bitter is here. And the orange juice. So I was squeezing an orange earlier and I just want to use it up. Need a filter. Yeah, okay, I got that here. Ooh, and I got it. Okay, I should chill a glass while I'm doing this. It's all a thing. It's a thing. We'll do a coupe. We'll just chill that for a little bit. Is that a song, Catherine? Got my jigger, got my shaker, got my cocktail maker. Okay, so the Japanese film Lady Snowblood is not an anime. There you go. Okay, cool. Ooh, there's quite a bit in here. Jesus, that's really weird. Oh no, that was scotch. Oh, I forgot I'd already poured the scotch in there, so I just necked the scotch. I have to go and get more scotch. What was I thinking? Thinking that was a residue from my clarified Sazerac. Oh, what an awful shock. I just nicked my scotch, so I'll have to add some more. Right, scotch. Whoopsie. Yeah. Scotch and some Oka. Oka smells great. It's a robust bitter. Amaro, and some of this extremely tasty sweet vermouth. There was that, and my juice à la orange, and I'm not actually sure how much is here, but let's see. Oh yeah, plenty of orange juice. So I think I will make a drink to milk clarify with that. Catherine, is that a sign I've had too much to drink? One could be forgiven for thinking so, but you've seen I haven't drunk that much. Had a couple of drinks, but you know. Some ice. Okay, ice for the shaky. Oh god, where's my strainer? I'm going to double strain this because there might be some pith from the orange juice. It's nice and cold. Okay, that feels pretty cold. All right. Ooh, that is a great color. That ochre really colors it. All right. Lightly chilled my glass. Ochre has such a distinctive color. Yeah, Catherine, I'm going to put it down to being forgetful. You know, early onset Alzheimer's, whatever. Oh, strain this into El Glacio. It's a great color. All right. There you go. Look at that color. The bloody oath and sand. Oh, it's got a really good aroma coming off it. How would I describe it? I'm really bad at the language of the tasting things, but it's got this really bright sort of smell on it. Man, the ochre really comes through on that. Like, ooh, it's got the ochre is what lasts. You got this lasting sort of bitterness on your tongue. Which can be good. I don't think, I don't want to drink bitter drinks all night, every night, but I really do like to have variety. And that's why I was really happy with my Royal Cocktail video that no one's watched. I watched my Royal Cocktail video because no one's watched it. I made 3 videos. In fact, this is another one I made during a live stream, then edited and put it on YouTube. Because it's Queen's birthday long weekend. So I did 3 cocktails that had Royal in the title. And they were 3 really different cocktails. One was gin-based, one was tequila-based, and one was Scotch-based. And they were all good, but I liked that they were really different. Because if I'm going out or I'm staying in to have a few cocktails, I really like there to be some diversity in the taste profile on them. So, like most people, I like a sweet cocktail, but I like one with a bit of bitterness occasionally for contrast. That's this one. That's pretty good. But I tell you what, I reckon, just as the shaky bits condense, I'm going, what's this? What's in an orange blossom? Gin, vermouth, orange juice. It's I'm going to make Scotch and mezcal and orange juice and orgeat and aperitivo. I am going to make that with the ochre. I'm going to do a milk clarified one. I'm just obsessed with milk clarifying. it's a bit of a worry how obsessed with it I am. I'll make it now. So, and again, the name of it is just hilarious to me. No Country for Orange Men. All right, so I'm going to double those measures. Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. Got to double these measures. Drain that last little bit in there. Don't want ice in it, but I ooh, yeah, no, there was a lot of bloody orange pith in it. Okay, I just need to rinse. My shaker because I am going to want to mix this up because it's got citrus and orgeat in it. Oh, nice. Kirsten, you watch the live stream recordings. You have video playing on another device with sound off. Nice. I'm just going to rinse this so I can use it to mix the ingredients. This isn't actually multitasking. This is one task. Rinsing my shaker. Right, so we're going to make a double-sized one of these and then milk clarify it. All right, so Scotchy Scotch again. Here's a bit of Scotchy Scotch. I love that this giant Costco bottle has it's like a built-in handle on the thing here. Probably can't see it. Can you see it? See, it's got like a built-in handle. I don't know. Don't know if you can see it. Don't know what resolution this stream is translating in. So, all right. If we're going to double size this, 2.5 shots of that. That's right. Right. Mezcal. This is going to be very smoky. Scotch and mezcal. Wonder how much of the smokiness will filter out with the milk clarification. We shall see. Right. 3/4 ounce, so that means 1.5. You see this mezcal has worms in it? Sorry, I'm showing you the wrong side. Can you see the mezcal has worms in it? There's always a joke I was going to make Aidsy eat the worms. Because I'm mean to him. What else? Okay, this is l'orange juice. Zvona. So how many ounces of orange juice we have in here? That's just about perfect. Okay. Use it up. Orange juice. Orgeat. I do have orgeat. Okay. I'm not sure if this is wasting the orgeat, actually. I like to part orgeat and part agave syrup. Can't help thinking this is wasting the orgeat, actually. And orgeat's not particularly cheap. But I'll put a bit of orgeat in here. Bit of orgeat. And a bit of agave syrup. Sweetener. Okay, a bit of agave syrup. And a bit of the ochre. A little bit more ochre in this one. Ochre. Right. And, all right, I have to put milk in something. So, you know what? I'm going to bloody use this, my tiki mug, because I can. I'll just rinse it quickly. and put some milk in it. And I'll use this other jigger just to measure milk. All right. Put a bit of milk in. All right, put the milk in. Oh. Right, do I have all the ingredients? Sea salt powder. I'll leave the sea salt out of this. Just going to make sure this is mixed. All right. Just a little shake to make sure the juice and the sugar syrup are mixed in. And then we do our classique. Pour it into the milk. See, that's this like strawberry milk. Actually more like raspberry milk. More like raspberry milk. Use this little spoon to stir it to make sure it's stirred through. I'll leave that for a little while and I'll stick it on to filter and probably put it in the fridge overnight. See what it looks like in the morning. Stella, you can see it. What can you see? I'll just add that in there. Just for shiz and gigs. Back to my bloody oath and sand. There's some good flavors in that. If you like bitter drinks, and a lot of people do, like if you like Campari, this Australian Ochre bitter is pretty phenomenal. Like a bitter Amaro top style thing with Australian botanicals. A portable pocket rocket of island vibes. So I also love the little bottles they sent me. I'll definitely be keeping them. Mofo Sign, how you doing, buddy? Oh, you've been following live streams of protests. It's crazy. I tell you what's been crazy to me, not so much today's protests, but all the videos of police brutality in the US. That's been doing my fucking head in. The fact they're doing this shit on camera when they know they're on camera absolutely does my head on. Oh, right. Thank you, Stella. You could see the handle on the whiskey bottle. I wasn't sure how good the resolution on the live stream was, but I think that's pretty neat. But by the same token, when that's empty, I don't think I have any use for a big fucking flagon like that, even though it has that neat handle on it. So it probably just goes into recycling, which I feel slightly bad about. Like every time, neat bottles, I go like, oh, I feel so bad about this just going to recycling, but what am I going to do? I'm not going to use it. So to the recycling it goes. So I just want to share this with you as the curdling happens in this milk. Now it's like a peach milk color. And it's just really curdling, like it's really breaking up. I'm actually really keen on how that one's going to come out because the base drink is really smoky. It's got Scotch and mezcal. So the base drink is really smoky. So I'm really intrigued as to how the flavors are going to be after the milk clarification, how smoky it will still be. Invisible Chicken, keep them for op shops. I don't know that op shops are going to want them. Well, literally, I don't know. Maybe they would, but tell you what, definitely keeping these bottles and the Tiny Bear Distillery bottles, or sample packs. Definitely keeping them because they're great for, like, if I made a batch cocktail, that'd be about 3 cocktails in that. May do trades because, God, you know what I love? Fresh citrus, and I don't have a lemon tree in my current house. I need to do a deal with someone I know if someone has a lemon tree or a lime tree or even a grapefruit tree in their yard that they're not going to use the fruit from, and I absolutely will use the fruit. I love fresh juice, even just in a Pepsi with a splash of fresh lemon or fresh lime or fresh grapefruit is fucking great. But it's also very good in cocktails. You are right, Invisible Chicken. People do give all sorts of stuff to op shops. But yeah, it's about time I made a deal with someone local. Like, hey, do you have a citrus tree and you're not going to use the fruit? I'd really like the fruit. I will make you a drink to swap for some fruit. I've done this multiple times in the past with friends. Ended up with heaps juice, which I fucking love. Like I said, just I love putting a splash of bitters in Pepsi. I love putting a splash of fresh juice in Pepsi. Just really livens it up. It's great. So I think I'll do that. But I mean, these aren't going to be empty for a little while. But I have some other bottles where I can make someone a little cocktail and swap them for some juice, for some fresh citrus. Definitely, I'm going to have to do that. Because I see that, like, there's a place, they're everywhere around here. I feel like all my neighbors have fucking lemon trees and I don't, and I feel really left out. But there's one sort of down on the corner. They've got, although I'm not joking, they've got 3 or 4 huge lemon trees that grow just an enormous amount of fruit. And I can't help going like, there's no way you're using all of that. God, I need to make friends with that person and say, please let me have a bunch of your citrus. Although I think, I don't know. Now, this is not a very Italian neighborhood. In Italian neighborhoods, they tend to make limoncello out of lemons. This is a very Jewish neighborhood and sort of Eastern European through to Russia. When you go through East St Kilda up through Caulfield is the most Jewish area in all of Australia, I think. Even the eastern suburbs of Sydney pale in comparison somewhat. But a lot of the people here are either Eastern European or descendant from sort of post-World War II Eastern European migrants. Like Carlisle Street in Balaclava, you will hear Russian being spoken, or you'll hear English being spoken with Russian accents. And also, if you go a bit further, sort of to Brighton and further out towards Frankston, you will get South African Jewish people. You will get in the supermarkets out towards Brighton and further out on the Nepean Highway, South African produce in the supermarkets because there are a lot of South African people have settled here and South African Jewish people. So you really notice that. But yeah, if in one of the Italian suburbs, I would think the person's going to make a limoncello out of all these lemons. I don't know what the people on the corner are doing. I don't know them. I've never introduced myself to them, but I every now and then I feel compelled to, and I want to say, hey, how you doing? I live a couple of houses down. What the fuck do you do with all the lemons? Do anything good? Because I'll fucking trade you. I will trade you because I really like. And it's like, yeah. And if the person says, oh, don't drink alcohol, I'd make them this syrup. Now that I know how to do this, oh my God, this syrup is looking so good. Like it's really worked. Like there's hardly any sugar grain left in this. It's all turned to syrup. So tomorrow I am absolutely going to add the water to this and then strain it, and I'll have lemon lime sugar syrup, oleosaccharum, oil and sugar. Oh man, I am so fucking. And honestly, What I might do beyond just getting the syrup, I might make like a tea after I filter it out, the syrup out. I might make like a tea out of the rinds. I should stop eating the syrup. Oh my god, it's so zesty. It's so good. Oh my god, I love this so fucking much. Why did it take me so long to discover this? Not good for you, just eating sugar syrup like that. Oh yeah, Lee, Carlisle Street's fucking great. Kirsten, you went to a farmer's market in Caulfield. They had citrus in shopping bags for $2. Gotta love that. Still, you have a lot of South Africans in the goldfields. Get biltong everywhere. Yeah. Around here we get biltong and boerewors, the circular sausage. I got introduced to this because a long time ago I was going out with a South African, and she introduced me to biltong and boerewors and whatnot. You're right. Well, Rick, I should definitely stop snacking on it. I need to keep it for the drinks. I need some fucking discipline, man. That's what I need. I need some fucking discipline. I am a little bit drunk. I feel like I've been really restrained this long weekend. I got a little bit drunk on Friday night. I got a little bit drunk on Saturday night. I got a little bit drunk tonight, but I didn't get shit-faced on any of the nights, which I think shows admirable restraint, given that it was a long weekend and that there was no one to fucking stop me. So I think it shows admirable restraint that I just got a little bit drunk. Will I, won't I? Kind of feel like making one more cocktail after. This is pretty good. I need something really contrasty, though. Something really contrasty. I've been getting most of them from the Difford site. What can the liquor... My two favorite sites for cocktail recipes are Difford's and liquor.com. liquor.com, not lickher.com, which is bound to be a porn site. Tequila Sunrise, 11 essential cocktails to try in June, and that's probably for the northern hemisphere, so they mean summer drinks. The book every bartender needs to read this month, a book called Optimistic Cocktails. That sounds cute. Okay, but I'm going to look. 11 essential June cocktails. Let's see what they are. A grilled pineapple mojito. Well, I'm not going to do that. But they've grilled some pineapple to make a thing. Okay, this is the one I made the other night. That's what I was drinking earlier. No. Don the Beachcombers Nui Nui. No, I made that a couple nights ago. Yeah, okay. I think I made it on Friday and drank it on Saturday. Don the Beachcombers Nui Nui. I drank a milk clarified version of that. And I put a bunch of... the cinnamon was really good. Spring Fever. Rosé wine. No, fuck that off. Aperol Spritz. Fuck that off. Canchanchara. Rumored to be the oldest cocktail from Cuba. White rum, lime juice, and honey. That's a bit simple. A rebirth. Tartaric acid solution. Blackberry sage tea syrup, brandy, sake, and chamomile. Interesting, but I don't have those ingredients. Lounge chair afternoon. Pink Port's natural sweetness with tequila, grapefruit juice, lemon juice, tarragon simple syrup. A Paloma, an elixir Bloody Mary, I don't want a spicy margarita, I don't want aquavit buck. If you have a bottle of aquavit lying around, which I don't, try this herbaceous take on the gin buck. I might be able to swap an ingredient. An aquavit buck has what in it? Aquavit, lime juice, ginger syrup, carrot, and what the fuck? I do not have those things. I do not have those things. Visible Chicken, you've had biltong from the jerky company? Yeah, Rick, I'm fucking 100% on board with a little bit of. Kirsten, you really like Boerewors. Yeah, I don't mind Boerewors at all. This is a South African sausage. And traditionally when you buy it, it's been done in a big loop, so it's a circle, as opposed to our Aussie sausages, which are straight and whatnot. Boerewors is pretty good. You also have milk tart. Yes, okay, custard tart, but way better, which reminds you of your auntie and child. So, do you, Kirsten, is your like family history South African, or is this just coincidence that you're into all the South African things? Still, you've got South Africans and Kiwis. Your little town's known as Bro Town. Yes, you get to really enjoy the LNP and pineapple lumps. Yes, Kiwi delicacies. Liquor.com just collects things. 11 cocktails to make for Valentine's Day. 10 essential cocktails for your December parties. 11 essential cocktails for your July parties. 11 essential cocktails for your October parties. 8 frozen cocktails to try right now. Okay, so December, Northern Hemisphere, middle of winter. Okay, so these are midwinter cocktails. A bourbon old-fashioned. Well, that's a fucking classic, obviously. Champagne cocktail. Fuck off, champagne. Lights out punch. Tea infused vermouth. Reposado tequila. Apple cider and spices. See, again, I make a punch. I'm going to want to milk clarify it. A plum toddy. Hot toddy. Is a net still here? It's a variation on a hot toddy. Oh, Kirsten, you're actually born South Africa. There you go. That's why you're into all those South African things. My exposure to the South African things was from an ex-girlfriend. Butternut Craig. Dark rum, orange liqueur, butternut squash. Ooh. A Roman holiday. Caffeinated cocktail. Amaro, Campari, pineapple juice, cold brew. Yeah, fuck off coffee. Ruby chai, apple teeny. I don't have any. Actually, there is chai over there. I could make a punch with chai. French martini. Vodka with pineapple juice, creme de cassis. Okay, I'm actually just intrigued on this. I'm going to have to look at that. Last minute mulled wine, a Tom and Jerry. A sweetly rich batter tastes delicious mixed with dark rum, cognac, and milk. Yes, I'm not really going to do that. Not really going to do that. What's in this French martini? Vodka, pineapple juice, and creme de cassis. I could improvise with the myrrh that I have. Vodka and pineapple and myrrh is actually probably pretty good. You immigrated here young. Kid said you talked funny. So you lost the accent. Now you just sound Western Australian. Annette, so you're still here. I thought you might be. Said, found out, hot toddy recipes, one of your faves. I will have to make that. God, we were talking the other night about making a chocolate bourbon drink. Make a what do you call it when you mix the chocolate with milk and then mix that with bourbon? Maybe. Feeling silly, you always wanted to try potki, but your Safa mates never invite you. Oh, harsh. Okay, what did I say for Valentine's Day? Hearts of Pom. A margarita, tequila, pomegranate, Cointreau. Hey, so it's a margarita with pomegranate. Large batch mezcal Negroni. Mezcal Campari, sweet vermouth. Chocomole. Tequila, agave. Yeah. Maxwell. Cucumber vodka, cucumber juice, Cointreau. I'm not really that big on cucumber. No. Between the Sheets, I think I've made that one. A sidecar variant. So it's cognac, rum, triple. Yeah, okay, so it's a sidecar with rum. Yes, I have made that. Italian chocolate martini, a hanky-panky. I think I've made that. That's a traditional one. Gin, sweet vermouth, and Fernet Branca. Yeah, so that's like that's like a Negroni variant. Instead of Campari, you have Fernet Branca in there. I'd actually I would definitely prefer that to a Campari homegrown Negroni. A dirty martini. I think I've made this one. Bitter hearts know better. It says hibiscus infused gin, which I didn't have, so it's just lime juice, simple syrup, amaro. I think I've made that. A bitter hearts. So they're saying gin. They're saying hibiscus infused, lime juice, simple syrup, and amaro. Gentine amaro. Oh my god! Fuck! This is just fucking made for Ocar Gold. Oh hell's yeah! I might make this. Yeah. Yeah, God, I might use the Applewood gin with this. Kirsten, you've never been game to try the Poshki. Don't have anywhere to make a coal fire. I remember I had a YouTube friend who is from the South Pacific, and around Christmas, like when all the fucking bushfires were out of control and there was an absolute total fire ban, like no barbecues or anything, he was saying like, oh my God, all my friends and family, they always make a hangi at Christmas, which is where you dig a pit, put the, like a whole pig in there and light a fire, cover it in coals and bury it and cook it. And there's a question of whether that was legal, and it definitely wasn't legal. It definitely wasn't legal to do when the bushfires were happening and the total fire ban was. And they were like, "Oh man, it's going to fuck up every Pacific Islander's Christmas," and they're going to make a hot toddy. I'm going to make a bitter heart, Applewood style. Oh, I definitely am. Poiki, thank you. God, that's a really South African sounding word too, poiki. The South African accent, I got so used to it at the time. Poiki sounds very South African. Tari Afrikaner. I am definitely going to make an Applewood style bitter hearts cocktail now. Because it's still a long weekend, so I can make another. Oh, look, this is really okay. This is done. Look, it's. Look at the split here. The curds are all pink, and the drinks are really peach color. All right, I'm going to start the filtering. I'll probably actually run it through a couple times. A little bit of drinking in here. Oh, that's good. That's the remnants of my Sazerac. Oh, it's good. But I'm going to do another one of them. That worked really well. That tasted really good. Right. So I'm going to filter this. So I need one of my funnels. Here's a funnel. Oh, that will do nicely. Put it in there. Get a coffee filter for a man who doesn't drink coffee, but has a lot of coffee filters. And we will get this happening. Oh yeah. That's happening. Oh, this is going to be really clear, I think. I think this is going to be really clear when it filters. Oh, yeah, I'm liking the sound there. I am going to put it through more than once, but I think it's going to be really clear. Right, I probably should rinse my shaker again. Wait, is this a shaken? Well, God, this is my stirring thing. But I have another thing I can put it in. Bitter hearts. Add ingredients to shaker with ice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I'll put this coupe back in the freezer. Right, I've got to rinse my shaker. Probably be okay even if I didn't rinse it. But I'm just going to do that. I remember one of the videos I was editing while I'm as a stirred one, and I'm stirring it. I lick a spoon to taste it after I stir it, and I realized I'm doing that on camera. I went, never trust a barman who does this with your drink, because I'm making the drink for myself, so I think it's excusable. But it is a bit dodge to lick the spoon after stirring a cocktail. Right, so I need my gin. So I'll put a few things back. I want Okar Gold, Applewood Gin, simple syrup, and lime juice. There we go. That's pretty easy. Okay, so this in the fridge. This is lime juice. Applewood Gin, Ochre Gold, and I will use my agave syrup. So is it 2 ounces gin, 1 ounce lime juice? I might use slightly more Ochre Gold. Ooh. Geez, my little Applewood gin sampler won't last long at this rate. Where'd I put my jigger? Okay, I probably should have rinsed this, but you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Just making it for me. Okay, so some Applewood gin. Some Ochre Gold. Or maybe I'll put a bit of the syrup in and then rinse out. How much? 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Okay. There's an ounce. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Put that in there. A little bit of the Ochre Gold. That'll Spandau Ballet song. Gold, gold. Dun, 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 dun. 1 ounce. See, I don't know. I'm going to put slightly less lime juice because every time I follow an instruction for the amount of lime juice to put in a cocktail, I end up thinking, that might have been okay with less lime juice. 3/4 rather than 1 ounce. Because I'm a fucking madman and I can make up stuff as I go along. That's everything. I just need some ice and then shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Where's my mouse pointer? Ooh, Kirsten's making a hot toddy too. Nice. Yes, feelings for you are right. Shouldn't be doing hungies in the middle of rampant bushfires in Australian summer. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Do. Oh, yeah, that's a bit cloudy. Definitely going to have to put it through more than once. But I think this is going to be a really nice, bright yellow, this particular drink. ASMR. Oh, I see. Puss's rum. Yes, there is that particular recipe that's a trademarked recipe. This question came up in another live stream. Are there trademark copyright cocktails? And there's that recipe that you're only meant to use Puss's rum in. Felix, did Tom Cruise and Brian Brown ruin bartending in cocktails? It was not. I think it was only last year when I actually saw that Tom Cruise, Brian Brown film from the 80s, early 90s cocktail. Saw it for the first time. And my one lingering takeaway from it was, man, every person involved in making this film fucking hated women. It was one of the... I don't think it even really qualifies as misogynist in the sense we'd use it now. It's just like, well, you just fucking hated women. Like, everything that goes wrong is a woman's fault. Every woman in it does something wrong. And it's just like, everything that goes wrong is a woman's fault. I was like, Jesus. Lighten up, guys. It's like, because I've started getting as anyone who watches the live streams knows, started getting seriously into cocktails in the last year. I started watching YouTube cocktail channels. And at one point I thought, oh, it's called flair bartending. The stuff Tom Cruise does in the movie Cocktail is called flair bartending, the throwing things around and whatnot. And I watched a couple of YouTube videos, it's like the World Bartender Championships for flair bartending, and I fucking hated them. Like, I didn't like them at all. It's just like, they're third-rate jugglers. And it's possibly because I did I put lime juice in this? I don't think I put lime juice in this. Okay, who was watching me? Did I put lime juice in this drink? Bloody hell. It just suddenly hit me. I thought, I don't think I put lime juice in this. But maybe no, I did, didn't I? Because I made a whole point of saying I was going to put less lime juice in than that. Just for a second, I just blanked because although it's in this bottle, I actually just squeezed this lime juice today. Very, very fresh. I just squeezed it with fresh limes today. God, thank you guys. I'm just like, fuck me, hell. Jesus. All right. So this is a bit of Hearts, Aussie style. That's really good. Oh, I've got to tell this one to the Okar people. So, or the Applewood people. So this is 2 ounces of Applewood gin, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce of Okar Gold. It's really good. This is really good. No, I'm fucking on board with this drink. It's a real nice color, isn't it? It's a nice sort of golden color. Feelings after joining cruise, be Isaac on the Love Boat, shag all the passengers. That was like the running thing on the Love Boat. Everyone shagged everyone. The Love Boat, soon you'll be making in love with you. That was on so much when I was a kid on commercial TV. But anyway, cruises. Petri dishes of human disease. It cracks me up because they were just, even before the coronavirus, there was horror story after horror story after horror story about cruises and how awful they were, and the petri dishes of disease. And the coronavirus really brought that home. The fact that cruises will ever exist again is a fucking mystery to me. I don't understand how anyone could ever go on a cruise ever again. Stella, ask your dad your dad would have the best stories. Bartender in the 60s and 70s in Footscray. He wouldn't be throwing bottles in the air. He'd be throwing bottles at rowdy patrons' heads. I'm assuming your dad is not on board with throwing bottles in the air while making cocktails. I reckon your dad would have such good stories. Bartending in the 60s and 70s in Footscray. Fuck me, that would be good. I would interview your dad, honestly. Those stories would be fucking gold. Oh, I love it when I make a cocktail and it's just like, yes. Like the Bloody Oath and Sand, yeah, that was good. That was good. I don't know. This one, though, I'm going to have to bloody share this with the Applewood people. This is so good. It's got all these bright herbal flavors. It's got the sweetness. It's got the lime. This is fucking great. Oh, yes. Feeler and Sealer. Coyote Ugly was a far worse bartending movie than Cocktail. Yep. Coyote Ugly was definitely a worse bartending movie than Cocktail was. Absolutely. See, how many cocktails would the painters and dockers want? Yep. No. There's lots of things that qualify as a cocktail, like fucking class cocktails. You know, an old fashioned, a whiskey sour. I am a I like the spectrum. I'm a big fan of unfussy cocktails, but I love it when there's bar staff who are really into making cocktails and do something really unusual. So Stella, your dad's got amazing stories. Familiar with the Powell Hotel, little outdoor street bar? I used to work there. There you go. Did things like raise crayfish on the bar. Oh my fucking God. The oral history of that would be great. Yes, Catherine, Coyote was a chick flick bartending movie. Yes, and the whole sisterhood thing was not bad, but just in terms of bars and whatnot, there's no, Coyote Ugly was terrible. It was terrible. It was worse than Cocktail. It was the female version of Cocktail, and it was worse. Bobo, you saw something worked out. It was the same price as USA to live on a cruise ship, just buying tickets as to rent a pump. That kind of makes sense. It would just be slightly nightmarish to be trapped on a cruise ship. Slightly nightmarish. And there was rumors because, of course, all the cruises got suspended with coronavirus. But there's a story, I don't know how true it was, that the big cruise companies started advertising that they will be taking bookings again at the end of the year. And the story I saw said that, they got a shit ton of bookings. And I thought, what suicidal idiot is booking cruises? Yes, Kirsten, I believe responsible service of alcohol doesn't happen on cruises. I believe that's the thing. Or are you talking about Coyote Ugly? There certainly wasn't responsible service of alcohol in Coyote Ugly or in Cocktail, for that matter. Feely, you reckon there'd be righteous anger at a cock? Yeah, I reckon the vegans would be very angry at a crayfish race today. Go up to Darwin. Darwin's insane. It's wild. They still do the things with the mud crabs. They have mud crab rodeos, and one is a race. It's a big circular pit, and there'll be a bucket of mud crabs that all have numbers painted on them, and they dump the mud crabs in the middle of this big circular thing, and the one that reaches the perimeter first is the winner. The other bit of mud crab rodeo is people in bare feet tying up the claws of a mud crab. So what you have to do is hold the mud crab down with your foot, your bare foot, no shoes or socks, and tie its claws up. Because a fucking Northern Territory mud crab could take a toe off without too much trouble. Oh, Kirsten, yeah, all of the above. Yep. I think you're absolutely spot on with an all of the above. Okay. Oh, man. The way in this is a really nice pink color. I'm going to go in Mrs. Angry's collection for cooking. All right. I'm just going to pour this back in because it's really cloudy. I don't mind if a few drops of it go into my other cocktail. I'll just capture that. Some people might say I have an obsession with the milk punch. I do. I really do. Yes, Stella. You're right. A lot of things that happened in pubs in the 60s and 70s, definitely not acceptable now. They used to on-sell the cray from their mate who worked on boats. Yeah, oh God, Footscray, because with the docks just down the way, oh my God, there would have been so much dodgy shit. Oh my God. I'm by the way, Stella, talk to your dad. I am absolutely serious. I would love to sit down with a camera and a recorder and interview your dad, because I think the stories of a barman from 60s and 70s Footscray would be the fucking best. I just think, like, No mockery, no irony, no piss taking. I think I would love the stories so much. A little bit of oral history of working class Footscray from the 60s and 70s would be the fucking best. Catherine, your parents went on a cruise in December. Daily beverage package, $60 to $80 a day. Came back with a huge bar of assessment drinks. You got to remember also, you go on the cruises, a lot of the staff, they're borderline slaves. They're like paid shit and they have no rights because, you know, the ship's registered in fucking international waters. So the crew have no rights. So if you have anything approaching a soul when you're on these ships, you have to tip the staff. Stella, your dad lives in Milton. Your uncle worked there as, oh my God. Oh, I'm Stella, I am 100% serious. If they were interested in telling their stories, I would just fucking sit and listen and record them and share them because that would be fucking gold. Just an amazing period of Australian history, working class Footscray in the 60s and 70s. Fucking hell, that would be good. I do not remember the Aussie family that got kicked off a cruise liner for brawling, but that sounds just about right, honestly. That sounds just about right. So one night, later in shift, Tex Longley walked into the bar. Yeah, a Footscray bartender would just have the best fucking stories. Footscray is now apparently one of the trendiest suburbs in Melbourne. I lived in Footscray 20 years ago. It was still a shit suburb. 20 years ago, it was still a shit suburb. People looked at me with a raised eyebrow when I said I lived in Footscray. That was the first place I lived when I moved to Melbourne. So in my first 5 years in Melbourne, I lived in the inner west, Footscray, Sunshine, Yarraville. I lived around in various places my first 5 years in Melbourne. So yeah, Footscray was definitely a dodge suburb when I first moved here 20 years ago. So it is apparently like the trendiest suburb now. It's being seriously gentrified. Kind of like I lived in fucking Newtown 30 years ago was when it was being seriously gentrified. Annette, you used to live in Yarraville as well, and people are like, you live all the way out there. I really regret not buying property in Williamstown when I first fucking moved to Melbourne, because it was so unfashionable 20 years ago. And they released some land farms and stuff. That would have doubled or tripled in value if I'd have bought a home there 20 years ago. But Jesus. And also, there are really good places in now in Footscray, probably less so when I was living there, but I liked Footscray when I was living there. But there are really good food and pub and bar places in Yarraville and Seddon and Williamstown, that whole little area there. Fucking great. Stella, your mum's family is all from Footscray. Yeah, the working class yarns. Oh, shit, yeah. Police brutality stories. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Anyone who lives in the working class suburbs in Australia, I was going to say post-World War II, but the entire fucking history of Australia will have stories of fucking police brutality. Yeah, Annette. Yarraville was definitely cute as fuck even in the 90s. It's very, very trendy now. But even in the 90s, Yarraville was pretty fucking cute. I really quite like her. But then I met lovely Mrs. Angry, and she lived over in East St Kilda, and moving wasn't an option for her. So when things got kind of serious there, I moved over to Eastern Kilda. I was in my own place for a year, and then things were still going really well with us after that, so we moved in together. Been together ever since. Angry's love life, doing a little heart. There you go. That's like the worst heart, but anyway. Stella, your dad's family's from Williamstown. Oh, the painters and dockers. Jesus, the docks in Williamstown. Jesus, there'd be some hardcore stories from there. Definitely. Definitely. Like, there's still Navy docks in Williamstown. Yes, and I'm just sharing a love story with you all. Yes. I've even lost track. Was it 15 years now? 15 years with this angry? Something like that. We're going to lose track. Just kind of like, yeah. Which is still the funniest thing. I haven't had many haters lately, although, like I said, I upset some TERFs today. So I've probably still got some TERFs shitting on me in Facebook. Who's at the door? Going to bed? Okay, I'll probably join you soon. Yeah, I pissed off some TERFs today on Facebook. See if there's any more TERFs having a go at me on Facebook, actually. I'm just going to shit on someone. Fucking TERFs. Fucking TERFs, honestly. Pack of shitheads. Why be a TERF when you could just shut the fuck up? Honestly. Daniel, I am up a little late. I am about to go to bed. I finished my cocktail. Yes, Stella, Karen Prime, aka J.K. Rowling. That's how I pissed them off, by pointing out J.K. Rowling was being a shithead not just to trans women, but to cis women as well. By basically saying that menstruation defines you as a woman. It's like, well, you're not really taking into account the number of cis women who don't menstruate, are you? You fucking idiot. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could go on, but I think I'll go to bed. And how's this going? Yeah, see, this is going to be a really, again, okay, in real life, this is a really bright light yellow. That looks really orange on the screen. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful color. I might put it through once more tomorrow. It's really hilarious because this is just yellow, and the way is pink. It's like in here it's really pink, and here it's yellow. This process just fascinates me. All right, I am gonna put some stuff in the fridge. I'm gonna put some stuff away, and then I'm gonna build you people. And now, you may be right. JK might get on the terps. I mean, that might be what sets her off, honestly. Oh. All right, so put my lime juice away. Put my milk clarified drink away. All right, then no country for orange men. All right, I'm going to put all that away. My Ochre Gold, my Applewood Gin, half gone already. Jesus, I only got it. It's a tiny sample bottle, but it's half gone already. I haven't used that much of the Tiny Bear gins. To use more of them. Bon, bon, bon. Yeah, you're right, Stella. She's just dropped any pretense of being a reasonable person and gone full fucking turf. Like that shithead Graham Linham. God, he's awful. Okay, I think I should clean this up because it's all sticky and I'll attract ants, and I don't want ants in my audio saccharum. Try to be responsible and clean up after myself before I go to bed, because occasionally I have 1 or 2 drinks too many and don't clean up after myself, and then I'm embarrassed in the morning. All right. That's okay. Right. Clean it up. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to put these out of the way so I don't break them when I pack up for the night. Okay. I reckon that might do me. So thank you all for spending time with me this evening. I am going to go to bed now. Now, I probably won't be on tomorrow night. I might be, you never know, but I probably won't be. And I may get on. Phyllis, you love me, but don't sing. I hate that. So Pete Evans is trending on Twitter because he said something insane, no doubt. It's like he's gone full tinfoil hat conspiracy idiot since he lost his job. Take care, one and all. I'll see you during the week, either on live streams or on pre-recorded videos. I think I'm going to try. I've got to get my head in the space. The world's just been too fucking weird for me. Like, I've really enjoyed doing the live streams and connecting with people. But I might be able to get back into the headspace of doing the pre-recorded angry videos. So take care, one and all. Look after yourselves. I hope to see you again soon, one way or another. But I will say bye for now. Bye.